We are back on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk, 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KERI, 1000 KKIM in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and 3 times a week on the internet on knuckmedia.com. Our guests in studio, Healing Word International Chaplains Ministry founder, Kerry, the Bull Killer Bull.
Bull Killer Bulls, yeah.
And his special assistant, Cesar. So, question, Cesar, you were talking about the land. So, what are you planning on doing with the land long term?
Long term is growing the ministry with the food distribution that we have, and if we're raising cattle out there, we want to grow the herd we have out there to be able to do more for profit and for non-profit. Pretty much is what we're kind of focusing on, growing that to provide jobs for veterans and also be able to in due time grow some fruits and vegetables also in the area in hoop houses. So we're working on a grant right now with the state, and they have grants for bringing in and helping pay for the hoop houses to be able to grow indoor in that area. So there's different projects going to be happening in different in the different ranches. One of them has a church building on there. Another one has a building so we can grow indoors for aquaponics and things like that. So there'll be plenty of work to do. So hopefully in due time we're able to provide jobs for the focuses for the veterans that we have in mind.
So where do you get your funding?
Well, we are getting some funding from the cattle industry that we've started, even on a smaller scale. We're working on some private foundation grants right now, and we're just growing what we have and trying to develop income streams so we can do what we need to do. Just looking for situations where we can grow. Donations
and sponsors also.
And we get donations, and we have some investors, but we, that kind of stuff, whatever we can do.
Do you accept cattle? If someone wanted to donate a cow, would you accept it?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We'll ground them up.
Never met a cow I would have turned down. Right on there.
There's all kinds of great straight lines there.
Yes, we'll take farm
Setting
animals.
you guys up, man. You guys are letting it go by.
Yeah, I think it's best if we let it go by.
So feeding the hungry. Mm-hmm. Where do you find the hungry? I mean, there's so many groups out there that feed the hungry.
Well, Claire, are you hungry?
Do I look hungry?
No, he's not hungry. But where we find these people, basically our chaplains are in contact because of what they do on a regular basis. They're in contact with all kinds of people, all parts of town, and we meet people that are needy. Plus, we have people just call up and say, hey, I heard you guys will provide food for people that are hungry. I know a family, blah, 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 and we do it.
So yours is really a one-on-one, or just to one family at a time, not to groups.
Well, no, but if a group came, we could handle that.
So if I was having a barbecue at my house and needed some food, you guys would come over and take care of it?
Sure, for a price.
Oh, there you go. Everything's got a price, doesn't it?
You Kerry, what I like about your ministry is the fact that you'll, like you say, you'll respond immediately.
Immediately.
If there's a need, you guys are there.
We don't care what it is, who it is, what they believe, care less what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll just help them. People in trouble are people in trouble. It's like our friend Rockwell says, a hungry baby's a hungry baby.
That's right.
Doesn't matter what their parents believe. So
sure.
Right.
60% of the people that go to bed hungry every night are children.
Wow.
And so that's our main focus. We want to make sure the kids have food. The other thing is we're partnering with Toys for Tots this year. It's nice for a kid to get a toy, but if he gets a nice toy and goes to bed hungry, that's not nice.
Exactly.
So we're trying to provide those kind of things so that, there are certain places where people are always hungry that we pass out food regularly. You don't really have to look very far to find them.
Yeah. And C, Sergeant Apple for Toys for Tots this year.
We're helping him out.
We're helping him out. He helped us last year to promote that, and he took it over. So we're helping him. So if you guys see Toys for Tots out there,
who took it over?
Please
Sergeant
help
Apple.
him out.
Oh,
Marine.
okay.
Sergeant Apple, Marine.
I need to talk to him because I'd like to have my office be a Toys for Tots.
Oh, it'd be great.
Okay,
sure
I'll give him a call and let him know.
Yeah.
Just remember, Marty, all the toys go to the Tots.
Yes, I don't get to keep any of them.
You know him well, don't you, Clay?
Yes, I do. You notice that?
Yeah.
Takes them out and plays with the toys and puts them back. We know.
That's part of being a Marine. We are having a conversation with Kerry and Cesar from Healing Word International Chaplains Ministries.
So what's the future for Healing Words? I mean, we know what you're doing today. How are you going to grow it?
Oh, wow.
We want to develop programs to help people. For instance, we'd like to develop a location with a program that would be a reentry program for people that are coming out of prison. We would like to develop a different facility to work with veterans that have PTSD. We want to develop programs. They're not necessarily ones that you could have together, but we want to develop different programs at different locations for different groups of people that have needs. We met a gentleman yesterday, and he works with veterans, and basically veterans with PTSD that are going to go to a job interview usually don't do very well. So we want to connect with him and help them to deal with their PTSD so that they can have a good job interview and those kind of things. So we want to develop several facilities, and once we get those things going here, then we want to take it to the states where we have chaplains, and then we want to take it to the nations where we have chaplains.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the veterans because there's such a need there. I know, I teach for a local university here one night a week, and I've got a couple of veterans in each class. And every once in a while, I actually, this one class I'm doing now has 2 veterans that are suffering, and it's, you can see that the need there for the help, and it's something that if it's not taken care of, it's just going to get progressively worse. So the need for a ministry like yours is incredible. It's really there.
PTSD, it can be contracted not just for veterans being in combat. People in prison get PTSD. If a person goes through a horrible divorce, they've got PTSD. If they lose a child, they have PTSD. If their house burns down in front of them, they have PTSD. And the main thing is with veterans, though, what makes that a challenge is that they don't want to talk about those things because it hurts all over again. If you can get them to talk about it, you can get them to begin to make progress out of it. Getting them to talk is the big deal.
So define PTSD, because I'm sure some people don't know what it is.
Post-traumatic stress disorder, meaning after an incident where extreme stress comes on the person that was affected by the incident. They have post-traumatic stress syndrome at first. If within about a month they don't get some help, it will develop into a disorder that will take maybe 2 years of counseling and group to get through it. If you can get to them early, while they're within a short time after the incident, and you can help them, sometimes they don't even need long-term counseling.
We had a man on, I'm going to say 3 years ago for Veterans Day, and I'll never forget this show. He was a Rhodes Scholar that ended up going to Vietnam as a infantry captain, and he came back and he talked about what a flip for this poor guy. But he was talking about how quickly these guys came back and how short of an adjustment period there was. So, here it is, one day you're in the jungle and, the slightest sound you're going to jump at, and next thing you know, you're on an airplane coming home, and there's not a lot of counseling going on in between. And that creates problems on its own. I was in group with a guy, because I had PTSD counseling for 2 years, and I was in group with a guy who was a Marine, came through LAX straight from Baghdad. I mean, 12 hours early, he was in combat. Right. Came into the airport, got into an altercation with 4 LAPD cops, and beat all 4 of them up. Just because he just exploded, because he's been over there in combat. I mean, it's like people don't get it. And this guy was in full uniform. It's like, this guy doesn't need to be messed with. This guy's got some serious issues to deal with, Yeah.
Nowadays, we don't mess with Marines.
Nope.
Right, Marty?
No comment.
Marty's an ex-Marine.
Oh, of course, I can tell.
No such thing as an ex-Marine.
You can tell because of the loss of hair? Or
former Marine.
There you go.
Former.
So, we've got about a minute left. So, tell us again, if people want to find out more about your ministry, who do they contact?
They can contact our 24-hour hotline, or they can contact me. 24-hour hotline is 800-527-2742, or they can contact me at 661-444-7814, and we'll help them out.
That's 661-444-7814.
And that's for information purposes. If they have need for a chaplain to be dispatched, they need to call the 800 number, because that's who does it.
That's 800-527-2742.
Correct.
Kerry, thank you so much. Cesar, thank you so much.
Thank
Not only
you,
for what
Marty.
you do,
thank you for having us.
Being here.
Thank you, Marty. It was our pleasure.
God bless you guys.
You too.
Take care. We'll be back in 167 hours on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk 1180.